Ray, you're 37. 10 weeks out with a torn tricep. You're going to be the oldest starter in Super Bowl 47. Where do these numbers come from? How does this happen?
Well, I've never stopped loving the game. It don't matter, age, you know. Everything that I did from the moment that I got hurt was to be back for this one last ride. So when you look at numbers like that, I've always challenged my teams from all the way back, beginning of times. If you want to be a great defense, beat me to the football.
Let me give you another number. Since 1996, when you were drafted, you're the last guy standing. No other player that was drafted that year is still playing football. No other undrafted free agent still playing football.
Wow.
You're the only one.
Wow.
How
I
does
went
that-
26 pick in that draft.
Yeah, you're 26 pick.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel? Back to
Well,
the Super Bowl.
You know what? Don't let me sugarcoat this because I'll try to cover it up and I don't want to. I said when I was drafted, I said the biggest mistake 1 through 24 made, can't count one of them because it was Jonathan Hawkins, but 1 through 24 made was not drafting Ray Lewis. You know? And I said because it ain't based on talent, it's based off what I was willing to give. And no discredit to any player that's not
And you
playing
still
right.
carry that.
I carry it. I never stopped until this last game for me stops. I've always said that was my number one thing, to walk in this business, to be the greatest to ever do it. And I always said that people really don't know what's inside of me. People really don't know what makes me tick. And it's little things like that that never has let me take a break. Since I started playing football at 10 years old.
Let me show you something. What are you feeling right there? That's 12 years ago. That's Super Bowl 35.
Yeah.
You had just won Super Bowl 35. What are you feeling? What's going through your mind there?
See, I look past the face only to the backdrop of the confetti. Because that's the ultimate. That's the only thing that makes that face look like that. And that's the thing that I promised SZA, Ray Rice, Haloti, Michael Orr, Joe Flacco, Anquan Boldin, personal relationships, that I do everything in my power to feel that confetti drop on our back before I retire. To see that face again.
Ray, what's the difference between this Ray Lewis and the one that's sitting right across?
Wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, much more wiser.
How so?
There were things I didn't know about a man, know about fatherhood, I didn't have a clue about then. Now, the things I know now as a man, we all say, use the old cliche, if I would have knew what I knew now, back then. But the things that I know now is why people can't really understand why my emotions are what they are after games. I was a young, talented NFL player that was raised without the teachings of a father. So the streets taught me a lot. So the decisions I was making then, I never thought about them twice. The decisions I make now, I think about them 80 times before I make one decision.
But I've heard you speak about it. Will you take your team back, or do you take your team back to Atlanta, to what happened that night and what you had to go through?
I take them back to the things that you have to learn from it.
Like what?
Be careful who you hang around with. If people don't have your same vision that you have, if people don't have your same drive, if they ain't in the weight room with you day in and day out, if they ain't sacrificing what you're sacrificing, then maybe it's not a bad thing for them to tell you, we need to separate. Because if not, then you may find yourself like I was, wrong place at the wrong time, with the wrong people.
This is 3 weeks to the day to the last ride speech. What prompted that, to get in front of the team and say that?
Nobody knows the sacrifice that you have when you have kids and you're not in the same household as them. My kids have made the ultimate sacrifice for me. So now it's my time for the ultimate sacrifice for them. I had to learn from them what I was actually teaching them, which was sometimes it's time to move on. Sometimes it's time to go to other things. So now I had to take the same rules to myself in year 17. When I got back, the conversation that I had to have with my team.
Did you think it would have this profound of effect on the team?
I didn't think, I knew it would. Because I know how much love we have for each other. Before I told the media, I went to my team. And forget about it being my last ride. The most important thing about it being my last ride was the principles and things that I left with every man in that room. And when that meeting was over, I can guarantee you 50 plus men came to me and said their life was forever changed by one conversation. So that's why the product of that is the reason why this team is here now. One of the fine pieces, because we had a real conversation with each other about a legacy coming to an end.
What do you think that last game will be like on February 3rd?
The things that I've been dreaming about, can't sleep. Can't sleep. Because as a leader, I want to do something for my teammates. I want to give them a feeling that they've never felt before. And if I do that, then it's done. Then it's done.